buffers, cushions, and fasting. I'd like to begin this fun video by looking at the question of the black box. You see, when we're looking at how the INR works, I've not been going into the details of the coagulation cycle and other things. That is for others. We can safely look at biology as a big black box with input and output. So how coagulation happens and is prevented from happening, it's incredibly complicated. Fortunately, we don't need to know the detail. We can simply simplify and observe. Remember I said that it can take about 40 hours or so for a change of dose to have effect. Well, we know that warfarin interferes with vitamin K in the body. And of course, one antidote to warfarin is vitamin K. Therefore, vitamin K supplementation is problematic, and maybe I'll do a video on that. And warfarin users avoid bringing to the table, they avoid binging on foods rich in vitamin K. Now, the coagulation system actually has multiple buffers. A buffer means cushioning, it means stability, it means stickiness and resistance to change. And you can have multiple buffers which interact and which work over several timescales. Time for some yummy Brussels sprouts and spinach. Well, if you look, and you can Google this for yourself, you'll find that the estimates of how much vitamin K there is in Brussels sprouts and spinach varies. And be careful of the units. 100 mcg, mcg is known as micrograms, and 1,000 micrograms in a milligrams. And typically the home tablet for vitamin K will provide 100 mcg. So 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. Regular fresh fruit and vegetables are healthy. They're good for us. So taking warfarin doesn't mean stop a healthy diet. On the contrary, get on with it. What we have to do is to avoid binging. And when I looked at the figures, I was surprised. I'd always been warned about Brussels sprouts and cranberry sauce. Well, when I looked, I found that 100 grams of cooked spinach was a whopping 540 mcg. Now, that's the sort of range you're looking at when the doctor wants to give you some oral vitamin K or even some intravenous vitamin K in order to bring down the high INR. So 100 grams of cooked spinach is getting into the danger area for binging on. On the other hand, Brussels sprouts, estimates vary. A 100 gram portion will contain only 190 mcg. And lettuce, but who's going to eat 100 grams of lettuce? Whereas I might eat 100 grams of Brussels. So it's okay to have a mouthful or two of spinach. And part of the problem with spinach is that it's often hidden in other foods like pizzas and other nice things. So avoid taking more than a mouthful or two of spinach. On the other hand, half a dozen small Brussels sprouts from time to time is probably not going to harm you unless you have it for 2 or 3 days running. In that case, the buffering might be overwhelmed. So what do I do? A few mouthfuls of any food is okay. Spinach is in food. I'll treat myself to 6 Brussels sprouts and possibly 2 meals of treats, but no more than that for a week. Another consideration is the human biome. The gut flora, the bacteria and other things in your gut, actually make vitamin K. It's not been studied very much, and obviously the more the human biome makes vitamin K, the less the body needs it from food. Therefore, the greater the buffering. And it's possible that some people make a lot of vitamin K and others make little. Now here are some hypotheses. A diet rich in probiotics, etc., yogurt and other nice things, would probably lead to a more stable INR. We don't know. That's a hypothesis. And you're probably not going to do much harm to yourself if you do. And it's quite possible that some antibiotics will impair the biome and in particular impair the production of vitamin K by the biome. Now, a quick word on fasting. Basically, fasting is not advised to patients under warfarin. Fasting leads to an increase in the INR. And from what I've seen on the literature, and I haven't studied it in detail, fasting creates problems in Ramadan and after Ramadan, though that's what doctors in the Muslim world have told me. This is not just the research papers. I lived in the Muslim world for many years, and the doctors all told me there that I must eat normally during Ramadan. If you want a reference, a very recent one on fasting, you can have it there. Okay, thank you very much.